Harold B. Lee, a prophet for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, once said, "If you knew what I knew, you would pile food up in the middle of the floor, throw a cloth over it, and walk around it." For decades and for years, prophets and apostles have been talking about preparation and food storage, and that we should have started preparing months, years, even decades ago for today. Today I'm going to talk about 3 specific points of why we should prepare, specifically food storage. First, we need to prepare for the unknown so that we ourselves can be prepared both temporally and spiritually. Second is that we'll be blessed for obeying the prophets. And third is so that we can be able to bless others and be God's hands in his work. Thomas S. Monson has said, "We live in turbulent times. Often the future is unknown. Therefore, it behooves us to prepare for uncertainties." In life, especially right now, COVID is going on. We have possible World War III starting with Russia and Ukraine. We have gas prices going up, which might be one of the worst things happening around the entire country right now. And we, as a church, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, have been told for a long time that we need to prepare for the time that we're living in right now. Thomas S. Monson has also gone on and said, "Recent surveys of church members have shown a serious erosion in the number of families who have a year's supply of life's necessities. Most members plan to do it, but too few have begun." The prophets and apostles of our day and age have also warned us that these last days would be hard and would sift the wheat from the tares. They also have given us a guide of what we need to do to be able to be ready for this time. Elder Bednar of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles said in the October 2020 conference, "Some church members opine that emergency plans and supplies, food storage, 72-hour kits must not be important anymore because the brethren have not spoken recently and extensively about these and related topics in general conference. But repeated admonitions to prepare have been proclaimed by leaders of the church for decades. The consistency of prophetic counsel over time creates a powerful concert of clarity and a warning volume far louder than solo performances can produce." Personally, my parents did a okay job at having food storage on hand. And when I was younger, in high school and in middle school, there came a point in time where the economy wasn't doing very well. My parents were struggling to make ends meet, and we actually had to live off of our food storage for a little while. Because we had stocked up food that we normally eat, because every now and then when we go to the grocery store, when we needed 2 cans of corn and we bought 5 instead to put 3 on the shelf, helped us be able to get through those hard times so that we as a family were prepared for when those hard times come. Being prepared temporally does not only bring temporal blessings. Moving on to the second topic of how we are blessed by obeying the prophets, Neil H. Leash, author of Prophetic Statements on Food Storage for Latter-day Saints, said, "Have you ever considered the possibility that the very act of having your food storage on hand actually might be serving as a protective shield, causing the Lord to turn away events and situations which might be harmful to you and your family? We must never lose sight of the fact that Heavenly Father rewards obedience in various ways." As we know, obedience is what qualifies us for the blessings from heaven. In Doctrine and Covenants, section 130, verses 20 and 21 says, "There is a law irrevocably decreed in heaven before the foundations of this world, upon which all blessings are predicated. And when we obtain any blessing from God, it is by obedience to the law upon which it is predicated." Prophets and apostles, again, have been telling us for decades to prepare, to be able to store up food, necessities, toiletries, toothbrush, toothpaste, all of these different things for decades have told us to do that. And it is because of that law, it's because of those commandments that they have given us, that me and my family were blessed, not only physically and temporally, but also spiritually. By obeying the Lord's chosen leaders and abiding by their counsel, we will be blessed in more ways than just being able to have food storage on hand. It will protect us from Satan and his influences, and not only will it bless us, but it also can bless others. Moving on to my third and final topic. Vange J. Featherstone shared this interaction which he had with someone else, and he says, "Do I share with my neighbors who have not followed the counsel to store food storage? And what about non-members who do not have a year's supply? Do we have to share with them?" He said to this person, "No, we don't have to share. We get to share. Let us not be concerned about silly thoughts of whether we should or should not share that which we have with others. Of course we should share. What would Jesus do? I could not possibly eat food and see my neighbors starving. And if you starve to death after sharing, greater love hath no man than this." He quoted John 15:13. We are to love God and to love our neighbors. These are the first two great commandments, after which everything else falls into place. If you truly love God and love him with all your heart, might, mind, and strength, you are going to be willing to do food storage. You are going to be willing to follow his commandments, no matter what it is. If you love God perfectly, you will choose the right. And if you love your neighbors as you love yourself, you will serve your neighbors. You will be a friend to them. You will be God's hands in his work, helping his children to understand his gospel and what it is all about. And that can start as simple as food storage and preparing you and your family for the times ahead. Not only for yourself, but also being able to share with others. There was a time this last couple years when my family, my wife and I and our kids, were living in a very, very small apartment. In that apartment, it was 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, literally 625 square feet, packed as much as it possibly can be, with a little bit of extra stuff on the side. Because we had some extra toilet paper, some extra paper towels, and things like that, we were able to share with others. Both my family, her family, friends, neighbors. When the toilet paper was gone, we were able to share with them because we had some in our food storage and in our preparation. I promise you, and I can say to you, that preparing temporally brings temporal and spiritual blessings. In conclusion, we must prepare not only for our own temporal benefit, but also for our own spiritual benefit as well, and to be able to bless others. Now is the time to prepare. Spencer W. Kimball said, "There will come a time when there isn't a store." And Elder Wilford Woodruff said on this same note, "The day will come when if this people do not lay up their bread, they will be sorry for it."